Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, how's the audio? Everything's okay?
Yeah, perfect. I think. Yeah, I can hear everything. Can you hear me?
Yes, everything's okay. Video is okay. Audio is great.
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect. Perfect.
so very nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
And
Pleasure. Nice to meet you too.
and let's start with the fact that the legendary Asia is back for good and with you on the forefront. So I would like to start by introducing you to Polish fans. So how did your musical journey begin? Because as far as I know, you started playing when you were just 5 years old.
Yeah. I started with I had classical piano lessons when I was about five, and I did all of the grades and learning all the classical pieces, and then doing all my jazz and theory stuff as well. And I just it was the only thing I was ever any good at, really. So I just I wasn't good at sports. I wasn't good at art or anything like that. It was just music, and yeah, I just loved it. And then I started playing in sort of bands in pubs and clubs and stuff, and playing weddings, and I ended up in a Deep Purple tribute band. That was yeah, it was okay. And yeah, and then it sort of just snowballed from there. Really, I knew it was something that I always wanted to do, but it just felt like one of those things that is sort of almost impossible unless you're in the right place at the right time, or yeah, it's but yeah, I just carried on playing and doing all of that stuff. But yeah, that's basically how I got into it, really.
And you learned everything by yourself, or were you going to musical school?
I had a music teacher. I had private lessons from like you say from five until I was about 14, something like that, 14, 15. And yeah, it was great. It's a good, I think it's a good thing to do. I think it sets you up to be able to, it's a good training.
And where did playing the keyboard stop being enough for you? Because these days it's safe to say that you are a multi-instrumentalist.
I mean, I'm still a piano player. That's really all I think of myself as. I I think I probably around 15, 16. Um, somebody who lived near us was throwing a drum kit away, and I think my parents said or my grandparents said, "Oh, we'll have it," kind of thing. And I just sat down and I thought, "Oh, I quite like this. This is a bit different." And then somebody I was in a band with, their dad had bought a bass, and something was wrong with the bass, and I was okay at soldering and fixing things. And they brought the bass, and I fixed it. I was like, this is okay, isn't it? And then I bought a guitar and just sort of messed around with it. But I wouldn't really. I don't consider myself a great guitar player or bass player or drummer or anything. The piano is really where I know what I'm doing. And before Asia, I'd never played bass really. I mean, I just didn't do it. It wasn't anything that was really on my radar. And then when they said, "Can you play bass?" I just said, "Yeah, of course, I can play bass. It's fine. It's fine." Boy, was that a shock. But no, yeah, it was just yeah, just picking up things along the way. I was, but at my heart, I'm still just a piano player, and the same with singing. Really, I never really sang until I was probably about 18, something like that. And I only sang because a band that I was in, we didn't have a singer, and we'd just take it in turns. Everybody would sing sort of three songs, and then sort of slowly everybody else stopped singing, and I just had to sing. That's sort of what it was, really. But yeah,
And you've mentioned before that you were part of Deep Purple tribute band, and as far as I know, you were 16 at the time. So how did
yeah.
how did you end up joining this band, and what are your memories of that experience?
So my uncle went to a gym to to work out, and somebody at the gym was talking to him and said, "Oh, I've just started a band, and we'd like to play some concerts around the UK, and it's Deep Purple, but we're really struggling to find a keyboard player." And my uncle said, "Ah, I think I've got somebody, but they're still in school." And I think this guy just sort of humored him and just sort of thought, okay, yeah, fine. But obviously, I was still in school, so I went and had a rehearsal at this guy's house with all of the band, and it was great. It was I learned three songs. I think they wanted Highway Star, Lazy, and Perfect Strangers. I think it was sort of three songs. And I learned them. I turned up. It was great. And they said, "Well, we want to play this year, but you're still in school." And I said, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do really." So they came to the agreement that they would wait for me to finish school, and then they would go and play. So they waited until the summer, and then I finished school, and then we started playing the songs. But it was great. It sort of it morphed. It started off as just Deep Purple, and then it turned into a Deep Purple Pink Floyd tribute. So they would do one set as Pink Floyd and one set as Deep Purple. I mean, it was great. I still like that stuff. Funny enough, I listened to Deep Purple for the first time in quite a few years about a month ago. And I've forgotten how much I like that stuff because you sort of get exposed to it and then you stop listening to it because it's sort of I've just heard it. I've heard it so much. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love Deep Purple.
And in 2020, you decided to start a YouTube channel. Was it more of a way to kill time during the pandemic, or did you have a bigger goal in mind, like getting a band to notice you?
No, I mean I think it was I was playing in pubs with a duo. There was me and funny enough, my old piano teacher. He would play bass and I would play piano and sing. And we were just playing pubs and yeah, having a really nice time. Nothing crazy. And and then obviously the pandemic happened. And during that time, I just thought, well, maybe I should put some songs on YouTube just to sort of just as something to do. I didn't really well the idea was that I would put stuff on YouTube and then when the pandemic was over, I could send these videos out to pubs and people for weddings and say, look, this is the sort of thing we do. Do you want any concerts or anything? So that I just did that. And one of the videos that I did was an Asia cover. And purely like I love Asia. I'd always loved the band. But it was purely because on my set list of songs on the iPad, it was at the top. It was Asia, ABBA. It was just there. So I did an Asia cover, and the response to the Asia stuff was it would get so many more views than anything else. And I just thought, oh, there's something there. So I just did more Asia. There was no sort of I know what I can do here. I can get myself into Asia. It was just that the videos did well, so I did more of them, and yeah, that turned out as a good idea to do.
And with these covers, you caught Geoff Downes' attention. So tell me what it's like to receive a message from your idol inviting you to a concert.
I mean, I, I love Jeff. I'd always loved Jeff's playing. He was the tasteful prog rock keyboard player. He wasn't sort of overly flashy. He'd always sort of play what was required. That was sort of Jeff's thing. And he had the facility to do the flashy stuff, but he would never do it. He was sort of like a Ferrari at 50 miles an hour. Like you knew there was more to give, but it was comfortable. And yeah, I remember I had a message on Twitter off Jeff, and it said something like "Great work on the covers, keep them coming." And I was like, "What? This isn't Jeff Downes." And I was sort of this no, this can't be. It's not Jeff. It's not Jeff. And it was. And I replied and I said, "Oh my god! I mean, what do you want to hear?" And I think he said try Soul Survivor. So I did a cover of Soul Survivor, and he said send me your address. Send me your address. So I sent my home address, and then this box set of Asia songs turned up, and he said, "Here's a little gift uh, for you to learn more songs. Hope to catch up with you soon," or something. It was just something like that. And then I remember me and my piano teacher were playing a wedding, and I had this email come through whilst we were playing from Asia's management, who also managed Yes, and and it just said that they wanted to invite me to a John Wetton tribute show, and would I be interested in performing a couple of songs? And I thought, well, yeah, let's do it. I thought they just wanted me to sort of turn up and play and sing something. And then we had a Zoom call, and I opened up the Zoom, and there was Jeff Downes on the screen, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, what do I do? What do I say? Do I look okay?" And he it became aware that what he wanted to do was he just wanted to play lots of Asia songs. So they put together this sort of scratch band, and it was going to be me singing and playing a little bit of keyboards. Jeff would play keyboards. Then they would get Jay Shellen from Yes to play drums, Billy Sherwood to play bass and sing some backing vocals, and and Jeff on keyboards as well.
And
And
Mitchell, if I remember.
John Mitchell, guitar and singing as well. How could I forget John Mitchell? And so we played this show, and Bill Bruford came out of retirement, and Rick Wakeman was there, and all of these people related to John Wetton's life. And at the very end of that show, Jeff came over to me and he said, "I think we should do more of this." And I said, "Yeah, that would be great. We should do more of this." And I genuinely thought that was it. I thought that was just sort of like a thing people say, let's do more of this. Okay, okay. And a couple of months went by, and then I had an email saying, "Would you be interested in joining Asia full time? Can you play bass?" And I said, "Yes, I can play bass. That's no problem at all." And yeah, this whole American tour got planned, and we went out with Focus and Curved Air and Martin Turner, and yeah, we played all around America, and then it just snowballed from there, really. But I couldn't believe it. It was just one of those things that I thought, is this real? Is this actually happening? Is this? It can't be. This can't be happening. But no, yeah, it was amazing, amazing.
And did you feel the pressure because there were some big shows you were filling in?
Yeah, I didn't during the rehearsals. It became that's where I realised that this was quite a big deal. I obviously I knew that it was a big deal, but until you actually start doing it and the public finds out, because obviously we all knew we were going to do this thing, we are going to play, but nobody else knew. And then when it got announced, I think people were a little bit sort of why this guy? Why this guy's nobody? Why? Well, you could have chosen anybody, kind of thing. And that was sort of the moment that I thought, right, I've really got to nail this as I can. Nobody can replace John Wetton, but I have to just sort of try and knock this out of the park as far as I can knock it out of the park. Um, and I remember the first show in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and the Ridgefield Playhouse. And before the show, I was just pacing around. I was just walking around outside, just panicked, thinking, "Oh God, I don't know whether I can do this." I think people are going to hate me. That's what I thought. I just thought, "Oh, this is terrible." And after the first song, while we played "Wildest Dreams" as the opener, and as soon as that song finished and everybody stood up and just went crazy, I thought, "Oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay." But obviously, there's always going to be people who aren't happy that I'm doing it or what, or whatever. But it was just, at that point, when I saw people liked it, that first show, I was like, okay, this is okay. This is going to be good. It's going to be good. But yeah, I was scared. I still am as well. I still do get the fear of, oh, is this, do people like this? Is this okay? Are you all happy? Everybody happy? Good. Okay. Yeah.
And the songs you are performing sailed in millions of copies. How to make songs like that your own? Because you singing them in your own style. You're not copying John Wetton or any other singer.
Yeah. I think I can only sing them how I would sing them. And I think because I came from it not being a bass player and not really being a rock singer, I just sort of sang. I didn't sort of, I wasn't like a sort of Bobby Kimball or like, I wasn't a rock singer. I wasn't out there at the front sort of with a mic, sort of like, come on. I just had to sing them. And I think, and luckily, I think we had John Wetton and I had a similar sort of style of just sort of power, but not sort of flashy, over the top kind of, not loads of fast runs and stuff. It was just sort of quite clean and loud kind of thing. So I think it helped in that respect. I think if it was a different singer, it would be a different story. But yeah, it was quite a comfortable thing to do actually. I mean, there's a few songs that are quite high that are always a challenge. We did a tour of Japan a few months ago, and when we arrived in Japan, we all had a cold, and I thought, oh no, this isn't going to be good because you've really got to be in tip top shape to get up there in those higher notes. And yeah, I mean, we got through it, but it was really tough. It was really tough to sort of keep the voice in shape over that tour. But yeah, I mean, I think we have a similar enough voice. I don't think we sound the same. I see that a lot. People say, "Oh, you sound like John Wetton." I don't think I do really. I think it's just that it's similar enough that it's sort of a baritone that is singing slightly out of their range. I think that's what it is. Um, but I mean, I'll take that compliment because I think John Wetton's got a great voice. But yeah, yeah.
And after a series of concerts in the United States, you ended up at Trading Boundaries. Where did the idea come from to spend 3 evenings playing 3 different albums?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I think it was I think it was management's idea first, or maybe Jeff. And I think we had an offer to play 3 nights, and rather than play the same thing every night, not that that's bad. I think Jeff saw it as a little bit of a challenge and said, "Well, why don't we play the first 3 albums in their entirety? Because it's never been done before." And we just all said, "Yeah, yeah, okay, that's fine." And without realizing, oh yeah, we've got to learn about 38 songs in like no time to to play any of this. But yeah, I think it was Jeff and management's idea. And I think it was a great idea. I didn't realize that we were going to film them at first and record them. I thought we were just going to play them, and that was it. But yeah, I'm glad they got recorded because they turned out really good.
And we've already seen and heard Night One, so I assume Alpha and Astra will be the second and the third part.
Correct. Yeah, they are done. They're recorded and all sorted. So yeah, I'm not sure when they're coming out because there are some other things to come out first.
And in the Blu-ray version of Night One, I was intrigued by the fact that your outfits changed during some of the songs. So is this footage from several evenings because the first album was performed more than once, or
Yeah,
or were there breaks between the songs and you just simply edited out?
yeah. There was, I think, so on the first night, I think all of the Asia album is all from the first night, and then all of the B sides, the bonus songs, they're from different nights. So the Heat Goes On is from night two. Video Killed the Radio Star. I think that's night three. So the bonus tracks are from different places, but I'm pretty sure because we did play the Asia album every day. The first set was always the Asia album, and then the second set would be the second album, and yada yada. But I think night one is night one. It's not sort of night two disguised as night one. I could be wrong, but yeah, the set is the set as it is, kind of thing. So yeah,
And I love the live version of Video Killed a Radio Star from Night One. And I recently came
yeah.
across a live cover version, and I didn't like it at all. So it turns out that it's not a simple song to perform live.
It is quite a tricky it's a tricky song. There's a lot of parts to it, and especially for sort of for four people to play it, it's quite tricky because there's so many keyboard parts, that you sort of obviously Jeff played it originally, so like he knows all of the sort of the tricks to make it sound quite right. I think people get the inversions wrong sometimes. I remember the first time, and I said to Jeff, "Is it this and this and this?" And he went, "It's close, close, but no, that you've got that note there. That wants to be." Um, so yeah, it is a tricky song to play, and I take my hat off to Trevor Horn because that spacing of the on the first verse is so wide that it's like, oh, it's awful, and you've got to try and sing it at the same time. It's sort of but no, it's great fun to play, and everybody always loves it whenever we play it. I know that it's not an Asia song, but everybody understands the link between Jeff and the song, and people, as soon as that piano intro starts, everybody's yeah.
And what is your favorite Asia song to perform live?
Mm, that's tricky. It changes. I remember on the first tour, I really liked Go. I thought Go was, I loved that song. But as time has gone on, I think it's Don't Cry. There's just something about Don't Cry that I really enjoy. I know when we did the three Trading Boundaries concerts, I liked one of the B-sides, Daylight. I thought that was my favorite. I thought this song's fantastic. I love this song. But then I know Jeff's favorite is Only Time Will Tell, because I think Jeff thinks that that's sort of the most Asia-y song. It's got the sort of big chorus, the verse that sort of builds up to it. It's got the middle eight, big section, and but yeah, I'm a sucker for a chorus. I do love a chorus, and Don't Cry has got that sort of "Don't cry, da 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 da, don't cry," and yeah, I'm a sucker for Don't Cry. I do really like Don't Cry.
I like, for example, Ride Easy from Night One.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah.
a little melancholic, but also catchy.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't really know the story behind why that wasn't, because it wasn't on the album, was it? It was a B side
Yeah.
to Heat of the Moment. Um, but yeah, I really like that song. And funny enough, whenever like any of my friends have heard the live recording, they all really like Ride Easy. They all say, "Oh, I like the one that starts with the harpsichord." Um, and I played John Wetton's bass on that recording as well. So that's the only song that I play a different bass on, and that was one of John's Zon basses that they let me use.
And in connection with the announcement of Night One, Frontiers Records revealed that a follow-up to the Gravitas is in the works. So can you tell us more
Yes,
about this?
I can. It is done. It is recorded. It is finished. It is ready for you to receive it. Um, I don't know when it is coming out, but it's coming out this year. So I assume in the late summer, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's. I don't want to give too much away. It's yeah, it's done. Um, we have Steve Howe playing on a song. There are some unreleased John Wetton things that we have worked on, and they are on the album as well. Um, yes, it's good. I will say that it was amazing. when I found out that we were going to record a studio album, um, I didn't really know how involved I was going to be. I thought they might just sort of say, "Okay, here are the songs, play that, sing this, off you go, go away," right? And but no, I was really involved, even down to the mixing. I went with Jeff to record all the keyboards. Um, yeah, and it was great. It was a really really fun experience, and I hope it was for everybody else in the band as well, because we recorded some things remotely because Virgil lives in Italy. So we recorded some bits and pieces remotely, but the experience was great, and I think the material has turned out really really good. Um, who knows? You might hear something very soon.
It's funny because today I received an email from the management asking if we'll be talking about the new album, and I'm like, what new album?
Yeah, I think it sort of got announced, but quietly. I think everybody sort of said, "Oh, here's these live albums, and there's going to be a new studio one as well that's coming." So yeah, so it is on the way.
And how many songs did you prepare?
Uh, 13, I think, something like that. I think it's 13 songs. There's an epic, there's a big song, there's a big long song, so all the prog people will like that. Um, yeah, I think 13 songs altogether. Um, we do have there is another special guest on the album as well, who is a very famous drummer, who is in a band with a link to Virgil Donati. That is the only thing I will tell you, because I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to say who it is. So,
And
yes. So there
uh,
is a band with a link to Virgil, and their drummer, yeah, also plays on a song.
the first single, when it will be released?
Uh, Very, very soon. I think it will be, oof, in a few weeks,
Okay, and
I think.
musically, how would you compare this new material to, for example, the last album, to Gravitas?
I would say I'd say the album is it has the feel of Gravitas, but I think it's a little bit heavier. I think it's a bit tougher. Um, yeah, I think it's got a lot of variation to it as well. I will say there's some, there's the sort of proggy side of it where there's stuff in 11/8 and all of that. But then there's songs like the last song on the album is is basically just a big chorus. It's just a it's just a hooky song kind of thing. And there's lots of variation in between. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything. There's a ballad, there's fast songs, slow songs. It's a really nice mix of stuff. I'm really proud of the album actually.
And like you said before, you recently wrapped up your tour in Japan. So what's next? What are your concert plans for the near future?
Well, we're playing Cruise to the Edge next year, and we're playing the On the Blue cruise as well. And we're going back to Japan, and I believe we have some plans around the time of the cruise that may or may not include the UK and or Europe, but I couldn't possibly say. I'm not allowed to say anything, so I haven't said anything. I've said it may happen, but not confirmed. Um, so yes, we may or we may not play the UK and Europe. We may or may not play in America, uh, but we are going back to Japan. I think I'm allowed to say that. Oh, we may or may not be going to Japan. I'll say that. There we are. And then nobody can shout at me. Um, so yeah, lots of touring next year. The album comes out sort of, I think, the end of the summer. And then the live albums, the other two, I'm not sure. I think maybe Christmas and sometime next year. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to those as well because I haven't listened to them since we mixed them. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, lots of touring of next year. Maybe more recording. I don't know, but yeah, it's very exciting. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
It would be great to see Asia in Poland because there was quite some time when Asia visited our country.
Yeah. When did they last
Oh
come to
man,
Poland?
oh. I was young and beautiful back then.
2 years ago. Yeah.
It was with John Wheaton.
Hmm. Yeah, because yeah, John passed away in, was it 2015? So it's at
Yeah, so
least 10 years.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's because it's been a while since Asia have played the UK as well. We did as in a tour. Obviously we played those 3 nights, and we played a warm up show before we went to Japan. Um, but as for a tour, it's been a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to if we do or do not play the UK very, very soon, and Europe. Um, yes, I'd love to play Europe. I'd love to. I'd love to play anywhere. People always say, "Oh, why don't you come here?" Or Why don't you come to Australia? Or why don't you come to Brazil? Or it's like I'd love to. I'd love to come. I would love to go everywhere, but it's just logistically, how do you make it happen? And I think that's the thing that people forget is that it is so expensive to take the band and the crew around the world. It's astronomical. By the time you pay for hotels, you've paid everybody, you've paid the crew, you pay for buses, you pay for food, you pay for the venue, you pay for yada 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 yada. Suddenly, flights. I mean, even flying somewhere costs thousands just to get everybody there. And visas, it's just really expensive. But I would love to play everywhere. It's and we will play everywhere. We will go everywhere. Um, so I'm saying it here now. You want us to come and play where you are? We will come and play where you are at some point. Um, but yeah,
And this is all that I have prepared. So thank you very much for your time.
you're
And
very welcome.
to wrap things up, can you share a few words with our readers and with Polish fans of Asia?
To the Polish fans of Asia, I cannot wait for us to come and play Poland, which I'm sure we will. Um, it's you have a beautiful country, and I am excited to one day visit it and let you enjoy the music of Asia with us, um, which will happen very soon.
And again, this is all that I have prepared. So thank you very much for your time and have a good day.
Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
Bye.